Hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesday Live. And you may be wondering what Wellness Wednesday Live is because we're not in our usual place, which is the Cary Medical Center Healthy You program Facebook page. But this month, the Healthy You Facebook page is actually hosting our Cary Medical Center virtual health fair. So Pink Aroostook is hosting our first Wellness Wednesday Live of October because our theme for today's Wellness Wednesday Live is Think Beyond Pink. And we're doing this talk in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And for those who aren't familiar, because we're kind of in a different space than we normally would, Healthy You program, we go live on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 1 p.m. to present and interview, and sometimes we have just community chats with people on different health and wellness topics. And so in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, here we are on the Pink Aroostook page. I am Bethany Zell. I'm the program director for Healthy You at Cary Medical Center, but I'm also the program director for Pink Aroostook, which is our breast health program that serves all of Aroostook County for those living with and at risk for breast cancer. And so I'm going to talk today about this concept of Think Beyond Pink, because when we talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, everybody thinks about pink, and it's a big time of year where everyone's getting out their pink ribbons and paying tribute to people with breast cancer. And today I'm going to challenge you to do a little bit more, go a little bit beyond that. And normally, in normal times, we would be hosting a special event this month in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where I would share this information in person. But since we're virtual, here we are. So we're going to start. I'm just going to share a little bit about the pink ribbon. I know most people are familiar with ribbons, awareness ribbons, and they come in a variety of different colors. They actually are derived from the song Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree for the troops that were overseas and bringing our troops home. And then they evolved with the AIDS epidemic, and they had some AIDS awareness ribbons. And this woman, Charlotte Haley, decided she wanted to do something to raise awareness about breast cancer specifically. And so she handmade what you see on your screen here, these little peach ribbons, and she used little push pins, traditional sewing materials, and hand typed these little cards, and she handed them out. It was a very grassroots kind of effort. It wasn't big marketing or big production lines of pink ribbon items. It was simply these little tiny ribbons on little hand typed cards that she basically hung out in her, or handed out in her neighborhood at the grocery store or to neighbors. And each of the cards came in a set of 5, and they said the National Cancer Institute annual budget is $1.8 billion, but only 5% goes for cancer prevention. Help us wake up our legislators and America by wearing this ribbon. And so she would write to prominent women, including former first ladies. She wrote to Dear Abby in the papers, if anyone remembers her. Primarily, her message was spread by word of mouth. And so they began to distribute quite a bit of these. Her and her family, by the time it was kind of noticed, she had already distributed about 1,000 of these cards. And so you see the little article here in the image, and they decided to highlight her. And when they did, it became even more well-known. And so then she got a call from Self magazine, and they really wanted to go in with her on this whole ribbon idea and drawing attention to breast cancer and getting involved in this ribbon movement. But she did not want anything to do with that. And so in 1992, they printed a follow-up story on the ribbon crusade that she was on to raise awareness for breast cancer and funding specifically for the research that could save lives. And when they published that article in 1992, it was revealed that she had also been approached by Estee Lauder, who really had a hard time connecting with her because, again, she wanted nothing to do with the commercialization of her ribbon. And these companies and organizations didn't really stop there. They really wanted to be a part of this ribbon thing. So they contacted their lawyers and they asked them, how can we do this? We want to do a ribbon. We really want this ribbon campaign. It's popular and we want to do it. And the lawyers said, you're going to have to pick a different color. And they chose pink. So that is where the pink ribbon came from. It came from a woman who initially, it was a peach ribbon and she wanted nothing to do with the commercialization. And so these commercial organizations changed the color of the ribbon to get around the legality of using this woman's concept. So it's really kind of, it's kind of sad that they took that joy away from her. But what that led to was what we see today, which is pink ribbon cause marketing. And it's big, big business for corporations who have profited mightily by aligning themselves with the fight against breast cancer. And so we are seeing a lot of money coming in through pink ribbon breast cancer awareness products. And unfortunately, that doesn't always mean that something good is happening for the people who are living with and at risk for breast cancer in our communities. So there's an organization called Breast Cancer Action out of California. And in 2002, they came up with a campaign called Think Before You Pink. And this campaign really called for the transparency and accountability of companies and organizations who are involved in breast cancer awareness and pink ribbon cause marketing. And the reason being is that when we as consumers see a pink ribbon product, we're kind of positioned to think of it that we're doing something awesome for someone with breast cancer. We're helping in some way by buying this product, but that's not always the case. And so we see these products popping up on all different kinds of products here. And what we're finding is that some of these products are really not good for people who have breast cancer or any cancer. So, I mean, you're seeing pink ribbons pop up on chocolate when we know sugar feeds certain cancers. It's popping up on alcohols, which alcohol feeds certain cancers and specifically breast cancer. It's popping up on 5-hour energy drinks, which are loaded with artificial sweeteners that can be hormone disrupting and facilitate an environment that could be healthy for cancer to continue growing unrelentingly. And then of course, this crazy one, we see it on a pink ribbon fried chicken bucket. And we know through research that fried foods and being overweight or obese can really reduce your healthy outcomes in life overarchingly, but it also can be creating an environment where cancer can thrive. And so seeing a pink ribbon on these products and knowing that they're profiting off of products that in essence can contribute to the breast cancer epidemic, and they're slapping a pink ribbon on it and trying to make us aware of this disease. It's a little bit inappropriate, I would say. So you may be shocked to realize that some companies put pink ribbons on products simply to spread awareness because the pink ribbon is completely unregulated. Anybody can put it on any product, and we see the pink ribbon and we immediately think something awesome is happening. Not always the case. So Breast Cancer Action was awesome enough to start this Think Before You Pink campaign. And you can find more about that by visiting thinkbeforeyoupink.org. But they tell us to be savvy consumers. When we're going out to the store and we're being flooded and inundated with all of these pink ribbon products, they're giving us a few little guidelines that we can ask to know where our money is going and if it's something that could actually help somebody. So when we're looking at a pink ribbon product, you really want to start by seeing, does any of this money from the purchase go to support a breast cancer program, breast cancer patients? What kind of work are they doing with this money? Where is it helping? And if they are giving money, how much are they giving? If you can't tell how much money from your purchase is going to support a breast cancer program or a charity or an organization, consider giving directly to a charity that you know where that money is going. We also want to know who is getting that money. which organization is going to benefit from this? What are they going to do with the funds? How do these programs that are being funded help people who are living with and at risk for breast cancer? How do they help decrease this epidemic that we're dealing with? So before you just donate blindly, check that recipient organization's website to make sure that their mission and their activities are in line with what you personally value in the world of breast cancer. And again, if you can't tell, or it's not clear, or you've got to rifle through web pages and web pages to try and figure it out, they're not being transparent. You should donate to an organization that is, and reconsider your donation. Is there a cap on the amount that the company will donate? And this is an interesting one, because you'll have campaigns where they will sell a product and they'll clearly say, we're going to donate up to $50,000 or whatever. And they'll have that on their product. They'll have it marked in the fine print, and they will make that donation. But when they make a product, they sometimes will make way more than what they would profit to make that donation. And so this is the case that we've seen with Yoplait, the pink little capped yogurts. They made a donation. They did. We can't take that away from them, but they made that donation in the very first year that they began that fundraising campaign. And then they continued to sell those yogurts for years afterward. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can probably find pink lidded yogurts, Yoplait yogurts today in your store. But I'm not sure if they've renewed their commitment to make a second donation, but they met their obligation and then continued to sell those products and benefit from them and earn a profit, simply profit on those pink ribbon products that when we pick up in the store, we think is helping a breast cancer patient. Well, you know, if it's not the year that they made the donation, it probably isn't helping anybody except for the organization's purse strings. And then the other important question, this is one that kind of came up in our last slide, is does this purchase put you or someone you love at risk for exposure to toxins that are linked to breast cancer? So where we saw the chocolate and the alcohol and the fried chicken, I mean, what are these companies doing to ensure that their products are not contributing to the breast cancer epidemic? And again, if you can't answer these questions to your satisfaction, I urge you to look for and give directly to a breast cancer organization that is doing work that matters to you. And that could be research dollars, that could be organizations that help with transportation vouchers for low income people, support groups, people who are doing policy work. There is a lot of work that needs to be done to address and end the breast cancer epidemic. But starting with these questions is going to help you be more savvy and help you read the fine print and really know what you're doing for breast cancer by making that purchase. And if you're not satisfied with what you're finding, please don't make the purchase. It's not worth it just to have another pink ribbon product hanging around your house. So if you really do want to help, how can you help without buying a pink ribbon product? First, you need to start with yourself. 1 out of every 8 women will receive a breast cancer diagnosis during their lifetime. So it's really important that you know your body and what is normal for you. Know your lumps, know your wrinkles, your crinkles, your sizes, your shapes. And then that way, if you know what's normal, you'll be much more aware when you see something that's abnormal, and you'll know when it's time to reach out to your provider or have something checked that you're concerned about. So start with knowing yourself and knowing what's normal for you. And do all that you can to reduce your personal risk for breast cancer. So, you know, we know just by research and evidence that smoking is directly correlated with not just breast cancer, but multiple cancers. And so quitting smoking can substantially reduce your risk for breast cancer. So if you are a smoker, find ways to quit and do it as soon as you can, because you'll be reducing your risk. And the great thing about quitting smoking is as you quit, the further you're out from quitting, the more your body will heal and become more in line with what it was when you were a non-smoker. So it's amazing that our bodies can do that. I touched on the obesity and overweight issue with breast cancer risk. And so the opposite of being overweight and obese is, looking and eating a healthy variety of foods and looking for those whole clean foods, not the fried chicken buckets, the healthy foods that are going to give you the nourishment and the nutrition that you need to sustain your metabolism and sustain your immune system and help you fight off the things that we encounter in the real world just on a normal everyday basis. But if you do end up getting a diagnosis of cancer or breast cancer, being in the healthiest state that your body can be will only help improve your outcome and increase your chances of having a good outcome in the end. And again, that ties right in with being physically active. And, not just when you're trying to lose weight or just for a season when it's nice outside and you can get outside, you really need to commit to being physically active throughout your life as much as you're able. And, we're not asking for marathon runners, just, even just walking around the block once a day. I've been walking recently, 1 mile a day, and I'm seeing improvements in my own ability and my own stamina just with 1 mile, which you wouldn't really think. So it doesn't take much. It really just takes being faithful and consistent. So do what you can to be consistent in trying to reduce your risk and do what you can to clean up your lifestyle so that you can have a more successful outcome, even if you do get a diagnosis. And, just being healthier helps our immune system overall, and eating healthy foods and having that nourishment can help with way more than just cancer risk. If you really want to give monetarily, one thing you can do if you're in the state of Maine, and I know there are a few other states that have a breast cancer benefit license plate program. We have a great program here in the state of Maine where a portion of our breast cancer license plate registration monies go directly to the 3 organizations that you see listed here. And it's the extra that you would pay on top of your normal registration fee is divided equally among the 3 groups. And that money is staying right here in our state of Maine. And I'm sure that that's going to be the case in the other state license plate programs. But being affiliated with the Maine Breast Cancer Coalition, since the start of our license plate, being the beneficiaries of the license plates, we have given back over $2 million to patients here in the state of Maine who need help making ends meet beyond what their health insurance covers when it comes to breast cancer treatments and screenings. And so we have been amazingly blessed with 20 years of being able to do that and give that money back. But part of where we've been getting that money is through those license plate donations. And so we are so thankful for everyone who chooses to make that renewal each year to benefit our coalition and the work of the Maine Breast and Cervical Cancer Program, which helps those who are underinsured access screening mammograms and pap smears for cervical cancer. And of course, the Maine Cancer Foundation, which helps a plethora of different cancer organizations. They grant out to different organizations throughout the state of Maine to help with all the needs that are identified in those local communities. So 100% of the proceeds on these plates are staying right here in Maine, which is amazing. And it's a great way that you can practically give back without breaking the bank, but knowing that your money is going to a reliable place that you know where the money is going to be spent. Another thing you can do is connect with the National Breast Cancer Coalition, which I'm fortunate to be Maine's team lead and field coordinator for the National Breast Cancer Coalition. And we have a national action network, and that's because public policy is critical to ending breast cancer. We really need to have our voices heard where it matters. And we need activists and organizations and individuals in every state working through our grassroots network to help create this urgency for ending breast cancer. And so we meet annually with our state legislators to talk about legislation that will help people living with and at risk for breast cancer back here in Maine. And we work with them on policy. We talk about access to healthcare for everyone and making sure that our legislators know that that's important to us and to the fight against breast cancer. So if you go to stopbreastcancer.org, you'll see at the bottom of the screen here, the top of their website, and their action center, they actually have a few different actions you can take today. Letters that are automatically generated. You just need to plug in your name and your contact information and where you live, and it will automatically send that information directly to your legislator in your area. If you wanted to subscribe to the Action Network, you'll get an email action alerts that will ask you to do things that might help advance the cause of ending breast cancer. And that could include making a phone call, signing a petition, sending an email to your member of Congress, or even writing a letter to the editor for your local paper. NBCC is an amazing organization that trains advocates at every level to be involved in the decisions that are being made that help people living with and at risk for breast cancer. And they also train us and give us all the information that we need to take effective action. And so you never have to worry that you're not equipped or you don't know what you're going to say. They make sure you have everything you need to take action effectively and completely. And so if you're interested in doing some of that public policy advocacy and some political advocacy at the national level, please join me in that work by visiting stopbreastcancer.org. And then maybe you're not into breast cancer. Maybe you're worried about other types of cancer, which I am also. And I do more for other cancers as part of the American Cancer Society's Cancer Action Network. This is the advocacy affiliate to what we all know, the American Cancer Society. And so some of you may not have heard of this Cancer Action Network, but this is where we work on those decisions about cancer that are being made outside of the doctor's office. We talk to our state legislator in the Congress, in our Senate, and we work with them by meeting with them and telling them about legislation and different things that will help people who are living with and at risk for cancers of all kinds. So ACS CAN is actually a nonprofit, nonpartisan affiliate of the ACS, and we are always looking to achieve a world that's free from the pain and suffering of cancer. And we know that that requires a comprehensive public policy agenda. And so we are always working on preventing cancer, seeking new cures and treatments, ensuring all Americans have access to the medical care that could save their lives if they're diagnosed with cancer. And we do this through trained volunteers in our grassroots network, which is amazing to see, just people from all over the United States and even beyond that, coming and talking to our legislators about things that are really going to help. And so this year we had our lobby day last month and met with all of our main delegation or their staff and talked to them about some really awesome legislation that's coming down the pike. One of them is the Henrietta Lacks Enhancing Cancer Act, and that would allow for access to clinical trials for people who are underrepresented, minority groups, rural areas, similar to what we're dealing with here in Aroostook County. It's not always easy for people to get down to participate in clinical trials wherever they're happening. And so we really want to make sure that the unrepresented populations are being represented in these clinical trials, because that's how you find effective treatments, by having good participation and by making those trials accessible to people who it could potentially save their lives. So you can learn more and get involved by visiting acscan.org or fightcancer.org and learn how to connect. If you're not in Maine, there is an ACS CAN affiliate, I believe, in all 50 states. So you can find your state's organization if you're watching this live video from another state. But please connect, find a way to do more than just purchase a pink ribbon. ACS CAN has had a lot of accomplishments. We are the organization behind some of this Tobacco 21 campaigning that's happening now on a national level. I know it changed in Maine in the last few years, and that was the result of advocacy through ACS CAN, looking at ways to decrease access for younger people to tobacco products, which we know can lead to cancer diagnosis and poor outcomes for those who are diagnosed with cancer. So there are a lot of things that we can do besides purchase pink ribbons. And especially this time of year, I just want to encourage you to find a way to connect with an organization that's doing meaningful work that you can get behind and you support. Read the fine print on those pink ribbon products. Make sure it's not some plastic product that's leaching toxins into your water. If you're buying a pink ribbon water bottle, those little things make a difference. And so we can do so much more. And if you're worried about any of that, and somebody who's living with breast cancer or has had a diagnosis, an easy place to start would just be offering your assistance or your help to those people. Start there, start in your neighborhood. Make a meal, offer to drive someone to treatments or sit with them or talk on the phone or just be supportive. Find ways to do more. And we absolutely can do more if we think beyond pink. So that's it for me. Here's how you can connect with us on Facebook at Pink Aroostook or Think Beyond Pink, and on Twitter, same thing. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope to see you all back for our next Wellness Wednesday Live. That one will be hosted in 2 weeks on our Cary Medical Center Facebook page. Again, not on our Healthy You page, because we'll still be hosting our virtual health fair. And if you haven't checked that out yet, check it out at carymedicalcenter.org/2020 health fair, or you can find it on the Healthy You Facebook page. So we will see you next time. Have a great day.